I came expecting sunny intervals and I've got low cloud and mist. Why not come with me and see what compositions we can find? Well, good afternoon, and you find me out and about in the lakes again, and we've come to Wast Water. I had a certain plan, but I've changed what I'm going to do because of the weather, and we've got very misty clouds. I mean, if I turn around there, you can see there's low cloud over the top of the mountains around, so we're just going to come around. I've parked at sort of the bottom of the lake initially, and we're going to wander around because there's a boathouse around here. I'm going to see if we can get some ethereal shots of the boathouse. Don't know whether we will or not, but that's the idea. So yeah, we're just going to see what we can manage. The plan I had was to come here, but I thought the forecast was such that in the afternoon, although the morning would be poor, the afternoon would be a lot better, and we'd maybe get some nice images and that. So yeah, but that's not going to be the case because the weather's otherwise. But yeah, the other thing I was going to say was I don't normally do this at the beginning, but as I left home and checked my channel, I am now at 997 subscribers, and the idea was to get to 1,000 by the end of the month. So we've got about half the month left. But if you're one of these people, or one of the people that maybe regularly watches me but hasn't subscribed, please do consider it. It would be a great help, and it would be much appreciated if you did subscribe, and we can crack that 1,000. So yeah, well, as I say, it would be greatly appreciated. So yeah, I'll stop waffling on. We'll go and find this boathouse, see what we can come up with composition wise, and we'll see you a bit later. Right, well, we've come up with our first composition. We're just walking through the wood here by the side of the lake, and you can see it's actually starting to get more misty rather than less. And I come across this scene. So if we just come down to the camera, it's a bit of a big step down, but never mind. Right, so what we've got, you can see there's a tree here, and then there's also this tree here, and they just got the idea that using those to frame the composition. Initially I was sort of over to this, and then the problem was this tree and the headland were sort of intersecting with each other, so I have moved across a bit, and what I'm going to do is we'll put the video on the stills camera, so hopefully that's videoing now. And yeah, so you can see here that's the sort of headland, for want of a way of putting it, and we've got the tree here, so the two are totally separate. And then we've got the leaves here coming below that, but nothing's intersecting. And then obviously we've got the full shore along there. But as you can see, it is getting very misty now. So yeah, so I mean that's the image we've come up with. We'll see how it comes out. I've taken it at a couple of shutter speed. There's a bit more wind in come up, and there's a lot more ripples in the lake since I took the images I've got. So, but yeah, that's the one we've come up with. Hopefully it'll look quite good. It will be cut down. It won't be the full 6x4. It will be brought down to at least a 16:9, or possibly a 20:8. We'll see what it's like in the post-processing. But yeah, hopefully it's got that ethereal look to it. And yeah, so what we'll do, we've taken a few slightly different images with slightly different settings, and we did move to this position. So yeah, whichever one's best we'll put up on the video, and then we're going to carry on round to the boathouse, which is further round there, unless this mist gets so bad that we can't see anything, in which case it's going to be a very short video. But anyway, we'll see you a bit later. Right, we've just come past the boathouse, and I came across this fallen tree. I'll show you it at the start. That's obviously the tree trunk that is split off, and obviously it comes down here. And if we come round the other side of this tree, we'll see how it carries on. There, comes up and it is budding, etc. Or there's lots of leaves anyway, and obviously it comes round here. So if we look up there, we've got the camera. So if we come round to where the camera is, I'll explain my thinking. We'll put the video on the camera and start recording. It's a bit of a hiatus there, but I'll cut it out. So you can see that's the thing, but you can see I focused in on here. We've got, obviously, just to remind people, the video is 16:9 rather than 6:4. So on the video we do lose a bit at the top and the bottom that will be there on the actual image, but you can see we've got the branch coming there, and then it comes over, if you use the other hand, over to here. And what I thought was, which is most unlike me, would probably do make it a, rather than 6x4, a 5x4. So we'd crop out the edges, but what I might do is crop out or clone out everything, particularly here, like these branches up here and down here. Try and clone those out, just so we've just got that branch that sort of protrudes out of the water, and all the branches and the leaves that come from it. So I suppose that's trying to be a bit more artistic rather than trying to actually show exactly what was there, but I just think it looks quite good. So yeah, you can see it on the back. I think it'll turn out quite good. I have already taken, we'll turn that off now. I have already taken the images, and it is quite dark. Oh, very dark indeed. So I think we were at 5 seconds when we took the images, but they all look quite good. So yeah, we'll see what they come out like. And I have taken a couple of slightly different compositions. It's starting to rain, so whichever's best we'll put up on the video, and then we'll carry on round, because what I want to do is go further round to then try and get an image looking back to the boathouse. The mist is coming and going a bit, but I think it'll look, a misty image of the boathouse should look quite good. So right, we'll leave it there, put the image up, and we'll see you a little bit later. Right, well, we've come just the other side of the lake where the river comes out of it at the bottom. So yeah, you can see there, and you can see that just across there is the boathouse. I'll just zoom in a bit. So I think that's possibly the best composition for the boathouse. There was, as I was walking along the path which was over there, there was a view of it, but I just didn't feel it was quite the right view. So I'm not going to show you through the stills camera or video this time, but that's the image we've taken is similar to what you can see in front of you now. So we've got the tree at the end, the boathouse about to the third, slightly over a third of the way in, and then the rest of the trees with the reflections in the water. It's just unfortunate the actual mist has cleared a bit now, so but I think it'll come out quite good. And then just looking across there, there's this pump house, and I was thinking the reflections of that look really good, but there's so much junk around it. They're obviously doing some sort of work or something on it. I don't know. I think it's a pump house. Just that, yeah, there will be too much work to remove everything, so I haven't taken that. But what you can see, and it's, if I zoom in, yeah, I'm fully zoomed in anyway, you can see there's quite a lot of these green reeds in the water there, and I have taken a couple of images. I'm just debating whether to take some more up the ISO, because if we look at the back of the camera, I don't know whether you can see there, but they are looking quite streaky, because at f11 one day I saw it was, we were talking about 10 seconds, so I did it f8 5 seconds and f5.6 at 2.5 seconds, but I might up the ISO to get it to a slightly quicker shutter speed, because I don't know whether you can see, there's quite a lot of movement with the water. The reeds, or weeds, or whatever they are moving about quite a bit. So yeah, we'll up the ISO, see what we can get, and whichever images are best of the boathouse and of the river with the reeds or weeds or whatever going through, we'll put up. And the plan now is to go back to the van and possibly go down to where there's a bit of a shelter and see if there's any images to be had there. I sort of have something in my mind, but it just depends on the mist, because you probably saw when I took with the first image, it got very misty, but it's cleared a bit now, and I'm a bit disappointed that we haven't got a bit more mist around the boathouse. I suppose it's because it's more low cloud than mist that's risen from the water. So we'll see what we can do, but we'll head back to the van, drive up to that, it's not very far, and we'll see if we can come up with anything. And by that point it's probably getting to the point where it's going to be getting too dark. So anyway, we'll see you a little bit later. Right, well, we've come up with our final composition. It's not going to be as good as I would hope. We've come to this shelter that there is here, and the idea was to get that with the mist in the background, but the problem is the sort of mist we've got, it is in the background, but it's not really around the shelter. So the shelter will look quite sharp, and then it just very quickly fades into the background. So yeah, we'll pick the best one we've got, see what we can do with it in post, and yeah, we'll put it up as I talk, because I think I'm going to round the video off here, and you can see, or not see, as the case may be, that's Wast Water. But it shows I came with the view of getting some. I had a particular plan, the type of images I wanted to get, which I was going to talk about focus stacking and that, but for that you need quite clear images. So that's the why I came here, but I was expecting sunny intervals, so I was expecting it to be relatively clear, and I got here and found this was the case, that it's just the cloud has come down and down. So, but it shows, I think, I'm not quite sure the title I'm going to put on the video, but it shows that you've got to adapt at times to the circumstances. It's no good just saying, oh, it's not what I expected, and pack up and go home. You've got to make the most of what there is. So I think I've shown that, and I think I've got some quite good images. I did take a handheld image as we came back to the van, which you'll have seen. There was just a rocky island in the lake, and I captured an image of that, and that's a very minimalistic type image with just the rock and with the lake, with the mist, the lake and the mountains behind just blend into one. And I don't know whether you can see right there in about the middle of the frame at the moment, that's the island I took, but it was sort of, I was beyond the island and to the right, and that's where I took it. So yeah, and it's been good to get out. It was interesting. I was listening to Dr. Zand and Dr. Chris on a sort of podcast type thing on Radio 4. I was coming here talking about boredom and the uses of boredom and how to in a sense overcome boredom, the good ways and the bad ways, sometimes, and I think that struck a note with me. I need to look at this and if I am feeling bored, come up with good things. I mean, what they were saying was that boredom's to do with you not being stimulated, so you've got to come up with things to stimulate them, but sometimes we come up with bad things. Some people, it can lead them getting into gambling because that stimulates them, but in the long run it's bad for them. Or eating, and that's one of my things. A bit bored, I'll go and get something to eat, which in the long term doesn't do much good. I don't know whether you can hear, there's a little lamb. So yeah, I mean, I think we've just got to overcome these things and that, but hopefully you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please click the thumbs up, and as I said at the beginning, we're on the verge of hitting 1,000 subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed and you are a regular person or watches it relatively, why not subscribe? It doesn't cost anything, and it will do the channel great good. But most of all, the thing I really do appreciate is comments, because they do help me to tweak the channel, etc. So what's coming up next? Well, I want to do a video about focus stacking, and it's going to be more talking about it, the pros and cons of whether we should be focus stacking or not focus stacking, and what effect it has, rather than necessarily the actual mechanics of doing it. But as I say, you need quite good weather and clear visibility, where you've got the things in the background and things close at hand that are clear, so you can try and get them all focused if that's the desired effect. So yeah, I'm going to do a video about that. Not quite sure where I'm going to go to do it, I had thought, not this coming weekend, the following weekend, again it's my monthly meeting, and was wondering about maybe going over Friday night somewhere to camp out, and then spending all of Saturday up until I need to go to Gateshead doing something. So yeah, I'm not quite sure where we are. I mean, this is Tuesday, this video will be going up on Sunday. One went up 2 days ago, which was the one up Sourmilk Gill, which I'm a little disappointed with the response. I think I haven't quite got the knack of giving it the right titles. It hasn't been getting as many impressions as some videos had, but having said that, the response to the people who have it's been put out to is quite high. The click-through rate is reasonable, but and that's more to do with the algorithm and partly getting the title right, and that. So yeah, right, I've definitely rambled on far too long, so we'll see you on the next video.